In this video, we'll learn about structures in C programming. So till now, we have learned about basic data types in C language like integers, float, character, and string. We also learned about an user-defined data type called array, which can store multiple values. But the only drawback in array is it can store values which are of same data type only. For example, if I declare an array of integers, it can store only integer type values. It cannot store float or character. In order to overcome drawback, we have a data type called structures. So we will be learning about that structure data type, how the syntax of it is, and we'll try to run some small codes to understand how to access structure elements and members and how we declare its syntax. So coming to the definition of structure, structure in C language is defined as a user data type that enables us to store the collection of different data types. So the main advantage of structure is you can combine data types which are of different types into a single entity called structure, and each of those entities will be clubbed together into a common entity, and each of those members is called a member. So for example, if we consider any school student, he might have his roll number. So that roll number will be of type integer. He might be studying in some class. So that class also will be integer class, like either 7th class or 8th class, 9th class. Then he or she will have a section in which they are studying. So that section will be of type character, like A section or B section. So that is of type character. Now that student will have some name. So because name will have multiple characters, so that data type will be of type string. And if you want to store student marks, for example, now marks can be a float value, like he might have got some 84.75 percentage. So that will be a float value. So structure gives us that advantage and flexibility to store values which are of different data type into a single entity, and each of those things is called a member of that structure. Coming to the syntax of the structure, so this is how you declare it. First you use the keyword called struct, then you write the structure name, whatever the name you want to give for your structure, and then inside that you start giving the member's name. So we will see through the example of code also, but just I wanted you to understand this is how the syntax of structure will look like. Just to take any demo example, for example, they have taken struct keyword, so that is compulsory. After that you need to write down the name of your structure. So the name of the structure here they have given my struct. So that is, this is called either name of the structure, or it is also known by name tag. So you can call it structure tag also. Then you open the curly brackets, and inside that you start giving the member's name. So first you need to tell the member 1, member 2, member 3, like that. So first one you define what is the data type, and then you define what is the name of that data type. So here there are three members in this structure. First one is like of type int and name is var1. Then second one is of type string. So string, as we know, we just write char, and whichever is the variable name we put square bracket after that. And here the number 8 indicates that it can store maximum of 8 characters. And third data type is float, which is variable. And then you close the curly brackets and then declare your variable name of that structure. So let us take a small demo example and let us try to run that code and see the output. So as we know that every C program begins with stdio.directory, so we'll include that header file. This header file is essential because both printf and scanf function are available inside this header file. So after that you can also include other important header files like string.h. So we'll include that also. Then you can start declaring your structure. So how to declare structure means write the keyword struct, then give name of the structure. I am giving name as student, open and close curly brackets, and inside this then you can start defining the members. For example, first thing I can define int like that student roll number. Then I can define which class he is studying, int class. Then I can define his or her section, so I'll write char section, because section will be a character type and only one value will be stored. Then I can store that student name, so char name, and let us assume maximum within 30 characters we'll store the name. And last one, let us give one float, and let us store his marks. And so this is how our structure is declared now, and all the members of the structure are declared. Now you can open your main function. So int main. Now how to use this struct student is, you need to declare one variable of student. So how to declare it is, you need to write struct student, and if I want some student 1 for example, so I can write s1. So this is how a variable is created for that structure. Now how to access individual members is using dot operator. So we need to use something called dot operator. So observe carefully. Using dot operator only we need to assign the values. For example, if I want to give roll number of that student, I need to access it like this. Like I need to write s1 dot roll number, and you can give the value of roll number like some 45, let us assume. The next thing is the class is in studying. For example, if he is studying in 8th class, then s1 dot class. So every time using dot operator only you need to assign the value. Next thing is his section. So s1 dot section. But because section is of character type, you need to write it in single quotes. For example, if he is studying in B section, then in single quote B you need to write. And next one is his name. And name, if you observe, is of type string. Now C language doesn't allow direct assignment of string data type to any value. So we need to use string copy function. So you can use strcpy function, which is available inside string.h header file, and you can directly assign the value. Like, so I want to assign it to s1 dot name. Then you can write name, whatever name you want to give. For example, I'm giving the name as Ajay, for example. And then last finally is marks. So you can write s1 dot marks is equal to, so I can write some percentage like 67.89 for example. So this is how you assign the value. You first declare any structure, struct student, and then you declare the individual members. Okay, so these are all called members. So if you observe, there are total 5 members: roll number, class, section, name, marks. And whenever you want to assign values to them, you come inside the main function, you declare a variable. So variable name I have given here is s1, and then using dot operator like s1 dot roll number, you can then start giving the values like this. If you want to print the values, you can use the printf function. So we'll just try to print all these values like printf. If I want to print roll number of student, so roll number of student is equal to some percentage d slash n. Replace that percentage d with, I can write s1 dot roll number, because in that only the value is stored. So I'll just copy this line for 5 times, and we will replace them with other things. So after roll number I can write his class, and because class is also percentage d, no need to change, just you can change s1 dot class. And next one was section. So section of student, and because it is of type character, so you need to change percentage d to c, and here you can write s1 dot sec. Then next one was name of the student, so you can write name of student, and it is of type string, so you need to use percentage s and replace this with name. And next one is marks of student, so marks of student, and it is of type float, so percentage f you can write, and here you can write marks, s1 dot marks. So you need to use the same name only which you declared on the top. If you use different name, then again the compiler will throw the error. And in float declaration, if you want only two decimal places, you can just write 0.2f, then only two decimal places will be displayed when the code is compiled. So we have completed our code, simple code to just declare a structure and assign the values and print the elements. So let us run and see the output once. So if you observe, whatever values we have given, those are printed, like roll number of student and class, section, and name and marks. So this was about the basics of structure, assigning values and printing the result. Thank you.